This is your Chapter 9 test preview and review. You know from earlier in the year that we use one of the tests as a pre-test, as a study guide, and then you take the test that will be set up the same way, just different problems. So this is going to be your review, and you will be using your calculator for your test that you're going to be taking, and you can also use your previous worksheets. So starting off with test A, number 1, it is asking us what is the volume of the cube. The cube, the sides are all the same measure. So the formula we use is volume is equal to edge cubed, and so the edges are 6 millimeters long, and so I'm just going to take 6 and cube it, and I am going to get 216 millimeters cubed. Okay. Number 2 asks what is the area of the circle. So the formula for area for a circle is pi times radius squared. So I am going to do pi 3.14 times 6 squared. So 6 squared is 36, and then 36 times 3.14 is going to be 28.26 yards squared. Number 3 asks us for the area of a triangle. The formula is area is equal to 1/2 of the base times the height. So we are going to do 19.8 times 29.7 and take half of that, and that is going to be 294.03. Number 4 is asking for the perimeter of the irregular polygon. So I just went through and wrote down the measures of all the sides, and I'm going to add them together, and we're going to come up with 22 units. Okay. Number 5. 5 is to find the area of the figure shown. Okay, so I kind of drew it funny. It doesn't really look like a triangle here. It's got a flat edge, but so I drew the line here, and I have a rectangle and a triangle. So for the rectangle, it's 4 times 2, which is 8, and then for the triangle, it'll be 3 times 4 is 12. Then half of 12 is 6, and then we add the 2 together, and that is going to be 14. And just as a reference, so number 1 is D, number 2 is A, 3 is B, 4 is A, 5 is B. So you can use that for your reference when you're studying your work. Okay. Number 6. 6 through 8 says to find the perimeter or the circumference of each figure. It's all circumference. It's all perimeter, not circumference. So don't, and it says that on test B2, but you're going to be looking for the perimeter, not the circumference of these shapes. So the first one is rectangle. It is a 3 by 4. So 3 times area is length times width. So 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. Next, the perimeter of a regular polygon. That means all the sides are equal, and the sides on here are 4.3, and so we're going to do 4.3 times 8, and we are going to get 34.4. Number 8 is to find the perimeter of this trapezoid. So we're going to add up 12.5, 22.5, and then 5 and 5. And we're going to come up with 45 for the perimeter. Number 9 asks us to find the volume of the square pyramid. So for the square pyramid, it is side squared times height divided by 3. So we're going to do 9 squared, which would be 81. 81 times 30, and then divided by 3 is going to be 810 feet. Meters. Okay. Right. Number 10 asks us to find the volume of the cylinder. So this is the last lesson you just did. So we take pi times radius squared and multiply by 40, and we will get 28,260. And that will be inches cubed. All right. Number 11, we're going to find the volume of the sphere. All right. And so it is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So remember, you're going to multiply all the way across and then divide by 3. And then the answer you'll get for that is 2,143.6. Number 12. Number 12 asks you to find the area. So actually 12 through 15 is finding the area. So we have the rectangle, and so the length and width is 9 times 21.5. So that would be 193.5. And that will be square feet. Okay. Number 13 is a parallelogram. So area is equal to base times height. So 9.4 times 5.2 is going to be 48.88. Number 14, we're going to find the area of the trapezoid. So with the trapezoid, it is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2, and then multiply it by the height. So 21 plus 30 divided by 2, and then multiplied by 15 is going to be 382.5. And then the last one is another parallelogram. So that is area is equal to base times height. So be careful with these. Remember, the dotted line is the height, because they're going to give you 3 numbers, and don't get confused. The dotted line is showing you the height. So 7.7 times 15.68 is going to be 120.736. All right. So go through the review with your copy and your calculator, and make sure you get the same answers. Use this for your study guide for when you do your test B.